send me this. I was making plan. Only for us to tell me, oh, so thank you so much. I will send you the Zoom link.
Yeah, virtual.
I'm like, what? Like, this is December 2024. Like, just to purchase what you're saying.
That had to be a new normal, where you thought you could have time to travel around Africa and travel around the world. You just had to, the world just switched all of a sudden to, digital platforms. And also, we should go into 2021 believing that the year is going to be greater and we're going to achieve great things. And thanks to everyone who's always listening on the newspaper review. This December, we're just going to be grateful. When we think about this season, I just think of how far we have come in the year, irrespective of all of the news that have been happening. All right, let's take some of the headlines this morning on the newspaper review. If you're joining us for the first time, this is the newspaper review. And Mondays to Fridays at 8 a.m., we take you through the daily from across different papers. We analyze them, and you get to contribute to these headlines as much as possible. All right, the Punch has the headlines. Governor Yahaya Bello condemns fresh NSAS protests. Lagos command warns organizers. And recession, expert warns states as governors justify bloated appointment. And by elections, Buhari pleased with outcome, says presidential aide. And traders seek someone who's help against market demolition. And the Guardian paper has the headline, tax exemption for modular refineries, liquefied petroleum gas to reduce pollution and boost employment. Also, group caution Nigerians against illegal migration abroad, and 2 Haddock workers missing as INEC declares Zamfara by-election inconclusive. The This Day newspaper has it. Analysts advocate legislation on unclaimed financial assets and insecurity. Buhari capable of discharging his functions, says Governor Fayemi. And non-academic staff union of universities decry drop in education's budget. And the Nation paper has the headline, Nigeria seeks reduction in Lagos Ibadan. How are we going to push it? It was about, I think it was for economy and 5,000 naira for business class. And I was like, why is it 2,000? That's pretty on the high side.
Should be the cheapest.
It should be the cheapest.
Yes.
Well, we're going to go into the details to find out why the price is that high. Also, the Nation, still on the Nation, central bank tackles COVID-19 with monetary policy measures. And also, President Buhari urged Africans to defend the rules on African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Lagos give removal notice to communities with unapproved. And also, the pen pushing has the headline, Police Corrupt Agency in Nigeria, says command. And people living with disability demand slot in Governor Abiodun's cabinet. These are the headlines on the dailies this morning. Do well to be part of this conversation on 070-317-56537. So on Saturday, by-election took place in Lagos, Imo, Plateau, Zamfara, Cross River, and Bayelsa. Zamfara is the only state that has been declared inconclusive because of what happened in Bayelsa State. And the candidates of the All Progressive Congress and the People's Democratic Party on Sunday displaced candidates of their other parties and won 15 by-election held on Saturday in their stronghold state. In Lagos, the All Progressive candidate Okumba Abiri won Lagos East senatorial by-election. The Independent National Electoral Commission returning officer for the by-election, Professor Ademola Orimoso, on Sunday announced the results. It was quite a large margin, 89,202 votes, 4 votes for the APC candidates, and the PDP candidates went home with 11,257 votes. This emerged second among candidates from 12 political parties. Everyone in 5 local government areas in the senatorial district, and across other states like that, we saw how these elections have gone. I think one of the things we saw was that the elections were much more peaceful, even though they were by-elections, they were very peaceful. I think turnout was also something to commend. Within 5 local governments, we can have approximately the total number of votes were over 150,000 from those 5 local governments in Lagos. Now, if we look at this and advocating that for 2023, the only way forward is still going to be the electoral form of voting, which is electronic means of voting, or should we begin to try alternatives? If we saw how these by-elections have fared, what we do differently ahead of 2023? Let me come to that.
Well, the best we could still do is that electronic voting. Uh, so far, we saw what just played out in this by-election that just took place on Saturday, and we saw how it played out. No, but Nigeria, you see, we have tested so many election processes. I remember in time of Babangida, the option A4. That option A4 would have been the best, but can be anywhere in Nigeria and you can, cast your vote. That's what we're talking about, electronic voting, which is very, very important. This is the level where we are now, coupled with the fact that we don't know what it might be in that 2023. Nobody expected that pandemic will ravage the whole world this way. So maybe anything could happen. So, but with that, you can be in the comfort of your home, in your environment, easily. You can cast your vote online. That will make it better.
Right, and I think I agree with you. Okay, let me get a picture.
So for me, I think that there's a lot that we've learned from the pandemic to still be dragging in that sense. And when I mean dragging, really deliberating, or should we not get into the electronic form of voting?